Still Torkono some the home common. Na lawyers it a bench ne Alistair Tenas in commodity demo. And I walk as a Torkono na Ankazano at this point, obit me resign. No more say, oh, baby, our proceedings now could do no own to me resign because I was say proceeding a go through and Shana or Mohu the financing. And Alistair say, okay, so or no Torkono. Okay, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Pwamang, or chairman, meet committee. So, at this point, I surrender my withdrawal case now. How is it gonna be? Mami Torkono at this point, because the law is the law, no. They say on or finding difficult to approach the chair because what did you matter? Yes, what did you matter? In the equity, so Mami Torkono is willing, because at this point, sometimes. Press conference don't be and it seems like the woman is willing to withdraw the case. Yeah, and so I say, oh no, I say, Mr. Chairman, we did just Pwamang at this point with my withdrawal case and was surrender and I say we'll give you up and I say we'll J as same anymore. Now equity. Stay tuned.
Feedback from the press conference and know that it is not just that you have done something, but the people don't want you. Yeah. And when you read a room and you know that you realize that Mugabe, you are not welcome. You step aside so that you can you'll be able to maintain your dignity.
But at this stage, she can't resign. At this stage,
in the middle of where the committee.
No, but she said it. She said that she can't resign because she wants to see.
Constitution says,
yes, she wants to see.
But can we say something like this? Can she withdraw from proceedings and say that I've surrendered, I've withdrawn from proceedings?
Well, that should be her own decision to take, But what I'm saying is that. The whole press conference, those who advised her, it misfired.
Good advice.
She wanted sympathy. She didn't get sympathy. And I saw that Miracles Abuaji said that NDC has put a spell on Ghanaians and, people are not sympathetic towards the Chief Justice and all that. Because in the time that she became Chief Justice, people were complaining about the judiciary.
Yes.
That when we bring our cases to court, unanimous 7 is what we get back. Yeah. We don't get justice. That is, you have to listen to the people. And if you don't listen to the people, in the end, whatever you sowed, you would come and reap.
The law is the law.
Do you understand? The law is the law. I'm quoting here. So, when you were in charge of justice, people were not getting justice. You told us that the law is the law. Today you are crying for injustice. Do you think anyone will listen to you?
Nobody.
And what kind of injustice are you crying for? The proceedings have not been completed. Yet you are out there crying foul that there's injustice because of the building in which the proceedings are being held. So what? Because judges were killed there, we should break down the maybe in the 8 years or in the period that you were Chief Justice, since your uncle was killed, you could have recommended that building should be brought down. But as that building remains part of state buildings, it would be put to use.
Yeah, Nanado renovated it and praised.
In a castle.
Yes, close by.
What was a castle and state buildings around there not used as presidency when Atamils was in power?
Yes.
So what's different?
And what she's saying is that a Deuce Lodge was used in planning for. She has no evidence. I'm saying that if you look at the SIB report, Captain Kojo Chikata met Amateko in front of a Deuce Lodge. This is a Deuce Lodge you are talking about.
But that's even presumptions.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Those things that she came to say as a lawyer and as a judge, you don't presume like that. Yeah. I'm not sure that when they recommended that building for her sittings, I don't think that anyone knew her uncle had ever been sent there. So for you to come and cry that you are scared because that's where they planned your uncle's murder and all that, it doesn't make sense. Yeah. And it doesn't make sense because I see it as mischievous. Yeah. You only brought that in. She only brought that part in about the murder of the judges and all that because she knows that happened under PNDC. And she wants people to hate PNDC. And that's why when I started, I said that it's about time that we extricate ourselves from that and let people know that the current NDC does not stand for that.
Yes.
The current NDC does not stand for unanimous 7. The current NDC stands for justice for all. Nobody is above the law.
Fantastic.
Nobody is above the law. So if anybody, as President Atamils will say, I don't care whose axe is God.
Yeah.
Justice will be served.
Yeah.
The wheels of justice, also the wheels of justice grind slowly, but it gets to its destination. So before the committee even completes its proceedings, you are out there crying injustice. Do you know how many lives were lost through injustices that people suffered in under the 8 years that MPP was in power, when MPP judges were in control and people were getting injustice and people were crying that there's injustice even before a ruling or judgment comes out? People can tell that it's going to be 5-7, it's going to be 7-7, it's going to be 7-0. Like betting. I'm sure we could have even done a sports betting with their judgments. You guys were so predictable.
That was
as
judicial,
to where the
judicial betting.
Predictable. The judges were so predictable as to which lane the judgment was going to go based on your political color.
Kanaba came out during that time.
Yes.
Yes.
You know, so, and if you recall, when the judges were coming to the Independence Square for the inauguration of His Excellency John Mahama's swearing in, they were hooted at.
Yes.
Ask yourself, why were they hooted at? Because people have lost trust in our judicial system. And if it must take one person to go for the trust to be regained, for Ghanaians, the 32 million or 35 million of us left, to know that now, when I go to court, I know that based on the merit of my case, I can get justice. You know, it has to be done. She has to allow, instead of these unnecessary press conferences where she's pointing fingers at stuff, people that we don't know, and stuff that were done in the 80s, and trying to allude that this is what the NDC is known for and all that, and so Yekumi and all that. No, you know, sit down, and then the allegations against you, make sure that you have a watertight case, airtight case, and make sure that you come out clean. At the end of the day, she wants to clear her name. And if she, I don't begrudge her that. If she wants to clear her name, allegations have been made, clear her name. But right now, where she's going with all the politics and trying to point fingers and say, it won't help her case. And unfortunately, the sympathy to
Mugabe, the fact that the CJ's matter has come and she's a woman, and we are talking about it, does not mean me and you, the affirmative action, we have stopped though. We still support women. We support good women to go into good positions to go and work. If you're a bad woman and you get a job and the law catches up with you, I will come and sit here.
But at least I was Charlotte Osei, a hermaphrodite or a man. She was a woman.
That's what I'm saying.
And apparently in Charlotte Osei's case, the man who even sent the petition had died.
Yeah, dead man.
And let me say a little about what Ifuagate said. Ifuagate is Jogate's wife,
former MP.
Yes, she's a MP for former MP.
MPP.
You know, she's married to. So you know, she comes and then she's saying, we have to act justly. We have to show love and mercy. We have to walk towards humility. And these words are beautiful, Madame Ifuagate. But where were you in the 8 years when people were shouting that act justly? There's a reason why the symbol for law is Lady Justice. There's a symbol why she's holding the scales. You know, there's a reason for it. So if the scales are not balanced and it's tilted towards MPP, people would be upset. And we are just 6 months into our government, and already you are crying act justly. In 8 years, your husband Jogate was part of MPP Nanado's government. Did you ever speak up against the injustice, against unanimous 7, against everything that was happening openly with no shame? And in the judiciary, you didn't. But today you can preach.
That's why I said the Ghana Bar Association, the bar operators, there's a today
she's standing
to apio bar, I don't know, Abekasado.
Live care capsules account in the Jumedia Free Medimosis, a clinic and Eba Center.
There was a petitioner that was dead. Akufo-Addo went ahead, went through the process and removed the 3 electoral commissioners. So, what exactly are her complaints? I remember, and she made the point that a copy of the petition was not given to her. We were in this country where she wrote to President Mahama for a copy of the petition, correct?
Indeed. Yes.
President Mahama graciously, she asked for 7 days. President Mahama gave her 10 days, correct?
Yes.
What did she respond to? Was it not the petition?
Well, she says she can't assume that the same petition she has is what the committee has. So she requested for the copies.
When we go to court and a writ is served on us, is the writ admitted in evidence?
Usually not.
Have you ever gone through court process where you say the writ invoking the court's jurisdiction? And if you look at even CI 47, a writ is defined to include what? A petition. Mm-hmm. You don't go to court and say, my lord, we've gotten to the point of evidence taking. First, I want to admit a copy of the writ in evidence before. I will make that argument before her ladyship. She will rebuke me instantaneously in court. Because you don't do that. So how is she expecting that today the petition should be, first of all, tendered in evidence before the proceedings? I mean, I've been struggling to appreciate the legal basis for these claims. And let me make this point. President John Dramani Mahama, on this process, has demonstrated fidelity to the laws of this country. Have you heard President Mahama commented on this issue? No. Express a personal view on this matter? No. He had demonstrated that, look, he's a gentleman. No interference whatsoever. Go through. You have the benefit of being represented by an astute and distinguished lawyer. Are you cool too? What else are you fear? But lawyer, are you cool too? What else are you fear? But I find it bizarre when, for instance, you go before a committee of this nature and say you want your husband to accompany you to the proceedings.
Why do you find that bizarre? Exactly.
Does it not defeat the in-camera hearing?
I
deceived my father, me. I go to deceive my father to lose all his property. It's not any lawyer. If you like to take you to court, I'm telling you.
He's a lawyer.
Which lawyer? On being here, there's still trouble in my family because of his actions. Are you going to? Somebody in who is he? He knows next to nothing about the law. They go around the knowing judges. I'm telling you. That's why the woman is afraid. Mamina will say to me, that's why she has run to come and court public sentiments. Are you going to? Over my dead body, my foot in the decision. Look at him. Look at him. On to me, yes, mama. That's why the woman herself has run. Why? The woman is even more intelligent than you are equal to. I'm telling you. You CJ. Mama no cry. Who cry? Who are you seeing? No, I can find somebody lawyer. Deceit of a lawyer. He deceived my father. I'm telling you. If let me say the story here and see what I didn't deceive my father.
That's not the story.
It's not the story here. Who are you going to? Don't mention such names. Who is he? Who is he? This Omana Bob, because of such characters. Omani baby, he cannot defend the woman. They cannot. He's an empty-headed lawyer. I'm saying it. He's an empty shell. He knows next to nothing about the law. That's why the woman has run to the public to come and court public sentiments. Are you going to? Cry over my dead body. Oh, winning case for court to be on tell me. Case man could not with you court. Let's calm down, please. Calm down, please. Calm down, please. We are not discussing your father here. You might see people say we are thinking about people who sounded
please. We are not discussing.
The driver, allegedly.
Oh, we are not discussing him. Please. Listen, we are not discussing Ayuko on this platform. Please, let's move on. Please.
Proceed.
All those fighting in the Galamsey fight. I wish them well, especially the Minerals Development Fund.
You don't want to talk about the Galamsey issue?
Yes, I want to talk about it.
You don't want to talk about it?
Yes, because I should stop. Useless old man.
That's a threat, please.
It's not. I've withdrawn it.
Thank you.
Useless old man.
Hey, that's not good.
Which one? Is that why a threat? If they say somebody said no, and I was talking about Anabisu. Yes, let me go on.
Don't be
why you Mugabe? Why? Useless old
Talk
man.
about Anabisu.
You see, Mugabe, the issue of Galamsey, when it comes to Galamsey, once that soldier died, and still we have not found a solution to the problem, that is what is killing me. Why? Why should he be killed? What did he do wrong? Those people who even killed him, where are they? And Galamsey is still festering. Mugabe, look, I'm telling you, we must shoot to kill. The people, they are still in our forest, and they are not afraid. Look at Hanabisu. Look at Hanabisu, a woman. Look at her daring nature. Do you know why? Yes. And it comes to her as pain. How people want to destroy the environment and steal our gold and make it their own. Yes. So people are talking about why is she part of the... Look, the Minerals Development Fund is supposed to go to communities that Galamsey has destroyed, so that she use part of the fund to repair those communities. If it's their land which is spoiled, if it's schools they need and other things. Yes. Yeah, look at her daring nature. Look at where she's going to. And then she should be commended. People are saying that we're free in the jurisdiction. She should be in Accra, sitting in air condition and managing the minerals. That is not it. You have to visit those communities that you have to spend your money to repair. And when you go and they still got and say, do stop and say that because I have a fund in Accra, let them continue to destroy. She has to shake the place up. What she's doing is interesting to watch her. And I'm saying that, madam, continue the fight. And those of you protecting her, don't stop. Police for let's protect them more. Police for unit be the form police units. I may say form police units, Ghana Police Service. They should show where you know I'm telling you, all these Galamsey, bring them out. I'm saying, bring a journal, FU for any journal. I'm the who got this out. My Debbie, what they come on me, they can who's almost a vest. Who you come back to me for who to soon come with that. Form police unit of the Ghana Police Service. They should join this woman, and I'm happy. Yes, there's no contonchi. Say bakunanka contonchi bebem. Yachi am Robert say edi oboko hide out akotire baby omo akronfo. Oda ya mo ama na ekuom. Na sem what be that? What be that? We sister. Hey madam, God continue to bless you. Me there, me say na me edin. First time I me encounter na me ko fie me say, "Hey, Suban we dey bet my Suban," but it's the Cuban training. It comes with, yes, they make you have a certain resolve that you are not afraid of life. That if you know you are doing the right thing and you're on the right footing, you never stop. You see Fidel Castro, he knew he was doing the right thing for his people in Cuba. He never stopped whatever America did. So that kind of training is what she has. And, ministry and also a formal task force. They should be up and doing the Blue Water Initiative. Kofi Boa, yes. They formed a commission, yes. Then the Defense Ministry and Interior Ministry too, yes, has a task force. Yeah. So this one, there should be multiple coordination. Is that not what we need? Yes. They should to save the environment from Galamsey, from these wicked 8-year people, Akunta mining and co who have come to rip our forest. If we want to reclaim it, we have to get a joint action, joint operation. Let's get together. Let's hold ourselves together. You understand? And Abisu Jirahono, Obisu San Konechi, because of free or no bar. Oh, omo bad. Yes. Omasako, Omusroshi, Omogako Titan Kofofi. That's the thing. Oh, Charlie Mugabe. Me Donyami, let me tell you, Mugabe, we have lost about half of our cocoa plantations in Ghana. Uko achimo treso kra. Omaton cocoa amutolu to Galamsey. E wa achimo treso abremu no any plan down omu to Galamsey.
Hanabisu is correcting it. We need to put our hypocrisy aside and now allow people to work. Look, Mugabe, there's no way you.
I'm now share you my dinner and I'll subscribe to my YouTube channel, like and share. God bless you.